Hello, this is iRadio 1 o'clock news. First, here are the headlines. The Juba City Council has denied grievances from some traders and businesses that there are multiple taxes imposed by the authority. A court martial in Yei, River County, has started a hearing on 11 cases of murder and 6 of rape allegedly committed by SSPDF soldiers in the area. And the government is appealing to the neighboring countries not to restrict food supplies to the country. These stories and more coming to you in this news bulletin with me, Kafuki Jada. Now here are the news in details. The Juba City Council has denied grievances from some traders and businesses that there are multiple taxes imposed by the authority. This comes after some traders posted on social media invoices that were made to pay the City Council, to the City Council. Lasuba Memo files this report.
In a financial receipt dated 3rd of May 2022, addressed to Hope Valley Apartment, the Juba City Council collected 650,000 South Sudanese pounds as fee for the fiscal year 2021-2022. The Department of Health and Environment at the City Council charged the firm 150,000 SSP as a sanitary license fee and 500,000 SSP as a signpost fee. It is stated the collection was done according to the Local Government Act of 2009, Section 74, Subsection 2A, and the Juba City Council bylaws. Another receipt from the Juba City Department of Public Order charged a spare part shop owned by Sam Majok 150,000 SSP. The amount is for what the City Council said general maintenance of the shop or place charges or fine. According to some traders, the city tax collectors decide to charge them anytime they want to. This is what they had to say.
Some of the challenges that we are facing at the market is that actually we have some issues of charges. The traders are really being charged. Okay, we are really being charged a lot of charges. Even some charges, even you cannot explain. They are not well explained. You find that you are being fined. For instance, we have like the issues of the verandas. Okay, these are being charged. So in most cases, it's good for the traders to be informed earlier, then they prepare. Then coming, just you find someone and say, oh, this.
البجينا اللي بواجهنا هنا في غرامات بجينا شوية يعني من غير علم بجينا نسيت كانسل من غير ما يدينا مثلا انذار من اول بجينا مفاجأة كده بس يجي يقول لي اخي نحن بتاع كده انه تدفع كده بتاع غرامة بس هي مشكلتنا بس في غرامات البجي من غير ما نحن عندنا علم بالحتة دي.
Responding to the traders' complaints, the Deputy Mayor of Juba City Council denied the institution is extorting money from traders. Tik Mayardit is now urging the traders to report the matter to the concerned authorities in Juba City.
If there is anybody which have happened to be taxed more without knowing that this is not in the rate schedule, let them come up. And that one, it is not a matter of saying. Because some of them, they are accusing us, they won't run away with the other thing. The other people which are accusing us are the one even causing problem. So if you know that you are eligible to pay, why are you waiting for the people to go into your place? Come to the city council where they are paying the money, and that is all over the world. No city council goes to any house of somebody or to any shop. It is you to come and pay when you are responsible.
However, the State Chamber of Commerce says it has formed a committee to investigate the concerns raised by the traders on multiple taxation. Robert Francis Pitia is the chairperson of the chamber. He said the committee, to be headed by the State Minister of Finance, is to verify the claims and collect evidence regarding the claims. It will be tasked to find out other forms of taxes imposed by certain institutions, including the National Revenue Authority. Pitia said,
and we'll minimize some of these things or we'll eliminate it. But we need to cooperate with these security organs and the relevant institutions who are collecting money so that we work hard to address all these issues. We started it and the committee has already been formed, headed by the Minister of Finance of Central Equatorial State.
Last year, the Chamber of Commerce, on several occasions, threatened to sue the Juba City Council for overtaxing traders in the city. But the chamber didn't have enough evidence to support its move. For iRadio, I am Lasuba Memo.
A court-martial in Yei River County has started a hearing on 11 cases of murder and 6 of rape allegedly committed by SSPDF soldiers in the area. The SSPDF General Headquarters had in 2020 established a military court to try soldiers accused of committing crimes in the country. But since then, the court has not executed any trials. However, this week, the army sent a team of judges to try those cases. The judges yesterday started by reviewing 9 previous cases that were pending trial since 2016. It will then move to cases including robbery that were committed in the aftermath of the 2018 peace deal. Agri Cyrus, who is the commissioner of Yei River County of Central Equatoria State, commends the SSPDF headquarters for the steps it's undertaking to bring wrongdoers to justice. He spoke to iRadio this morning.
As for now, the implementation is ongoing, as you heard of the arrival of machinery from Egypt. That is actually true. The machinery has arrived in Unity State. Then soon we will start opening the river. What is the project which is also to be soon implemented by the government of Unity State? Yes, we will soon start it, as well as the final arrival of the other machinery which are on the border.
Commissioner Cyrus did not disclose the names of the suspects. The Minister of Humanitarian Affairs and Disaster Management is appealing to the neighboring countries not to restrict food supplies to the country. Mayen Majongdit made the remarks amidst reports that current global economic crisis has compelled countries to ban export of food commodities. The war in Ukraine is said to have disrupted global food supply chain and triggered a rise in global food price. Minister Mayen revealed in a press statement yesterday that Uganda has closed down a major export market in a move to curb its own food insecurity. Mayen fears that the situation could get worse for the 8.9 million people who are already food insecure in the country. He spoke to the media in Juba yesterday.
The situation that we have apparently, generally to say it basically openly, is that, of course, Uganda has closed down one of the major markets which we actually get the supply from, not only us, but also the Republic of Congo and other countries. This actually has led to an increase of food commodity. The second factor is the war in Ukraine. The war in Ukraine has greatly had a great impact in South Sudan. The food supply we used to get as a country, we are no longer getting it, and may increase deeply into a major crisis for other factors. The humanitarian situation in the country, only fractions of the country can afford their daily meat. And I call on our friends and the neighboring countries to continue opening up their supplies of food commodity in Uganda, Kenya, Ethiopia, Sudan.
According to the official, the government, the UN's Food and Agriculture Organization, and the World Food Programme had convened meetings and deliberated on how to address the crisis. Mayen said the ministry and partners shall work to collectively to ensure that an action plan is laid out to address future food insecurities in the country. For his part, FAO representative Alimu Demeke, the current crisis requires a joint action with the government and humanitarian parts.
The current food security is already very fragile and very high, and resources in parallel coming. The current situation is declining, and these compounding factors require a joint action. One institution like the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs alone or partners alone cannot fully respond to the situation. It requires multi-sectoral, multi-institutional, and also multi-country response. So FAO is in general committed to work with partners in easing the pressure on the vulnerable.
Farmers in northern Bahr el Ghazal are calling on both the national and state governments to revive the Awil Rice Scheme project. This, according to them, will help boost food security in the country. However, they say floods, lack of tractors, and irrigation system are the major factors hindering the production of rice in the area. Awil Rice Scheme is a national project which was established during the British rule in the late 1940s. It's the biggest rice farm in the country so far. It's about 11,000 hectares, but only 3,000 are often cultivated. In 2012, the German-based humanitarian agency, which provided funds for the scheme, pulled out, leaving it to be funded by the government. Farmers take up to 1 month to harvest 3,000 feed-ins due to the lack of enough workers and tools. In April this year, a team from the National Ministry of Agriculture visited the project in an attempt to start plugging in the Awil Rice Scheme. John Gar Akot is the deputy chairperson of the Awil Rice Scheme Farmers Union. He said that the farmers complained of poor management of the scheme by the government and cited a delay in starting the cultivation this year. Joseph spoke to iRadio in an exclusive interview.
The current food security is already very fragile and very high. And resources in parallel.
إلا موية بس مشكلة موية. الموية ده مشكلة رسمية نزل ما عنده سيانة. يندو كاو نا سيراب بتاع روزة ما زي بتاع أول ده. وروز بتاع سنة ده ما أصل زي زمان. بابور تاني ما يجي. إلا ميبور بتاع أول ده بتاع هنا ده بترتر ناس بزرع هناك في 100 فدان بس عشان سيراب بقى بسيط ما كتير. تو حكومة بتاع مشروع بتاع جيبو داو بتاع ولا بتاع سيم بتاع حكومة بتاع ولاية يجي هنا وتابعني ذاته.
Garang Wel Mashar is a farmer in Awil. He called on the government to revive the rice scheme project by providing a logistical support.
المشروع بقى يتعاكروا في بتاع بابور وضمن قريب يجي بكون حاجات بكون ناس في المشروع هنا ده كان يعملوا سريع. الأول عملنا هنا زراعة 2008 قاعدين نزرع في يد بتاعنا لا 2006 ده قاعدين نزرع في يد بتاعنا ده ويعملوا كان ينجح كويس. لا 2021 قاعدين نزرع هنا خربوا. قاعدين مساعدة يعمل ردمية ويكون كويس. دارين يعمل قناة ده ينضبط تمام ويجي مؤثرات كلهم مقفولين وكل مقفول مويه ما قاعد يجي بيجي بسيط ده رجده يا بنجح المساعدة ده بيجي في حكومة يا كان حكومة عنده قدر ويعملوا ده بنجح طوالي.
The Farmers Union went to say many of their members left the farming activity due to lack of support and tools to keep the rice scheme going. There were more than 1,500 farmers in the area. The Unity State government has received some water dredging machines from Egypt meant to clean up the Nile River. They aim to minimize the recurrence of devastating floods in the surrounding areas. In partnership with the Egyptian government, the project will ensure the removal of sediments and weeds impeding the flow of the Nile River and causing floods in the state. Unity State Minister of Information and Communication, David Guy, confirmed to iRadio the arrival of the machines. Guy could not state when the project will kickstart, but he said soon.
As for now, the implementation is ongoing. As you heard of the arrival of machinery from Egypt, that is actually true. The machinery has arrived in Unity State. Then soon we will start opening the river. What is the project which is also to be soon implemented by the government of Unity State? Yes, we will soon start it as well as the final arrival of the other machinery which are on the border.
Dredging is a routine necessity in waterways as sedimentation, the natural process of sand and sleet washing downstream, gradually fills channels and harbors. And now we are going to the international news brought to you by MTN. My colleague Helen Samuel joins us.
Freedom is everyone's desire. Freedom is what makes you and me happy. Freedom is called Hurea in my country. My telecom network has chosen to give me freedom. MTN is my network. I have the freedom. I choose affordable and reliable. Hurea Bundles is my way. MTN introduces to you Hurea Bundles, giving you the freedom to call across all networks with the same bundles. Subscribe by dialing *100 *3 *4 hash and get 15 minutes for only 100 SSP and 30 minutes for 150 SSP, valid for 1 day. Hurea, pure freedom. MTN, everywhere you go.
From the international news, thousands of pilgrims are attending an open-air ceremony at Namugongo Shrine near Uganda's capital, Kampala, to mark Uganda Martyrs' Day celebrations. The Catholic shrine is dedicated to Christians martyred for their faith in the 19th century. Some of the pilgrims spent the night holding a vigil near the martyrs' shrines. President Yoweri Museveni has wished the pilgrims a safe stay in the country and tweeted a photo of the venue. Elsewhere, the U.S. has accused Tunisian President Kais Saied of an alarming pattern of actions undermining Tunisians' independent institutions after he fired dozens of judges. State Department spokesperson Ned Price said U.S. officials had communicated with their Tunisian counterparts on the importance of checks and balances in a democratic system. He said the U.S. government had called for an inclusive and transparent reform process with input from civil society and diverse political voices to strengthen the legitimacy of reform efforts in Tunisia. And finally, President Joe Biden has said the U.S. should ban assault-style weapons and high-capacity magazines to tackle the carnage of gun violence. Addressing the nation after a spate of mass shootings, Mr. Biden said too many places had become killing fields. He said if a ban was not possible, the age limit for buying such weapons should at least go up from 18 to 21. But deadlock on the issue between Republicans and Democrats in Congress means progress is seen as unlikely. And that is all from the international scene for now. Back to you now.
Thank you, Helen Samuel. And now we are going to the sports news with Akile.
We begin with locals. South Sudan coach Stefano Cousin says his side must be bold to have a chance of qualifying for the next year's Africa Cup of Nations. His team begin their Group G qualifying campaign against the Gambian on Saturday, with the top two in the 4-team group securing spots in Ivory Coast. The Bright Stars beat Djibouti 5-2 on aggregate in a preliminary round tie back in March to progress to the group phase of qualifying. The Gambia also came through the preliminary qualifying round, reached the quarterfinals at this year's Nations Cup in Cameroon. South Sudan and the Scorpions will also come up against Mali and Congo-Brazzaville in Group G. Mali have replaced Nigeria at the 2022 Women's Basketball World Cup, set to be played in Australia in September and October. The sports world governing body FIBA announced the move after the Nigerian government's decision in May to withdraw from international basketball for 2 years. FIBA added it will announce whether there will be any other decisions related to the Nigeria Basketball Federation's participation in other FIBA competitions and any potential disciplinary measures in due course. And finally, Ricardo Horta struck on his first Portugal appearance in almost 8 years as they drew with Spain in their Nations League opener in Seville. Spain's Alvaro Morata scored the opening goal, finishing off a sleek move involving Gavi and Pablo Sarabia. Braga's Horta, who won a first cap as a teenager in 2014, came off the bench and tucked home Cancelo's cross. It is almost 10 years since this fixture was won by either side, with the last 5 meetings all draws. That's all from the world of sports, and back to you, Kafuki Jada.
Thank you, Akile Emmanuel. And you are listening to iRadio News. And to end this bulletin, here are the headlines again. The Juba City Council has denied grievances from some traders and businesses that there are multiple taxes imposed by the authority. A court martial in Yei River County has started a hearing on 11 cases of murder and 6 of rape allegedly committed by SSPDF soldiers in the area. And the government is appealing to the neighboring countries not to restrict food supplies to the country. That's the end of iRadio Afternoon News. You can get these stories and updates by subscribing to iRadio News Alerts on your MTN South Sudan number. Call 700 or dial *700# and follow the instruction. If there's a story or any event you would like iRadio to cover or report about, please send us a text message on +211 925 287 870. It's also our WhatsApp number. Follow us on Twitter at iRadio Juba, like our Facebook page, iRadio, subscribe to our YouTube channel at iRadio South Sudan. You can also visit our website and listen to us online at www.iradio.org. Stay tuned for news in Arabic at 1:30. I am Kafuki Jada. Thanks for listening.
Real people, real stories, real music, real radio. This is iRadio, your eye on South Sudan. Entertainment. Stay tuned to iRadio, your eye on South Sudan.
It's a Baghdad diamond when it's my eye.